Drop the weapon. Get on the ground now. That's what I heard, no warning. Just the hard bark of a SWAT officer's command, his rifle pointed straight at me like I was some kind of threat, standing frozen in my own doorway, 68 years old, holding nothing but the leash to my golden retriever, Valor. It happened so fast, I didn't even have time to blink one moment. I'm there, try to process the chaos on my lawn. The next, a jolt of pure agony surges through my body, and I'm on the ground, my service dog barking for all he's worth while the world just goes dark. I know what you're thinking. How could this happen? 6 minutes later, as I'm lying there stunned on the porch, the air goes heavy again, not with more sirens, but the unmistakable roar of military trucks. The National Guard. Let that sink in. And no, they weren't lost, and it wasn't any kind of parade. See, I'm John M. McKinley, retired Army Master Sergeant, folks. Call me Mac, living out my quiet days in the suburbs with Valor, the dog who helps keep the old war demons at bay. I keep to myself mostly, tend my garden, fly the flag on holidays, nod to the neighbors. Valor's my lifeline, trained for PTSD, there for me when the nightmares come, or when the shakes start for no good reason. Maybe I'm just the quiet guy on the block, but I like it that way. Simple. Predictable. That's how I thought it would always be. But that Tuesday, the world turned inside out before I even finished my morning coffee. I heard shouting outside, tires screeching, and opened the door just to see my front yard crawling with men in black tactical gear, guns raised, moving like I was some cartel boss, not a grandpa out for a walk with his dog. Police. Search warrant. Hands where I can see them. Orders came flying from every direction, each one louder and more frantic than the last. Now, let me tell you, I've seen my share of tense situations. Overseas chaos doesn't usually rattle me. So, I did what any good soldier does. Raised my hands, kept my voice steady, tried to explain. Wait, this is my house. My dog's a service animal. There's a mistake. But they weren't listening, and Valor, feeling my panic, growled a deep, low sound that said, "Back off." That was it. That's all it took. He's got a dog. Aggressive animal, someone shouted, and before I could get another word out, I see the laser down my chest, hear a young officer's voice crack as he yells, "Taser! Taser! Taser!" Next thing I know, I'm flat on the porch, my body on fire, Valor barking his heart out, trying to shield me, snapping at the air between us and the men storming up the steps. It's a blur: pain, fear, confusion. I can smell the ozone from the taser, feel the rough hands cuffing me, hear Valor whining, trying to get to me, officers shouting, "Dog's loose, potential threat." I try to speak to beg them not to hurt him, but my body won't work, my voice stuck in my throat. This wasn't some Warzonite, was my home. And it was a mistake that felt worse than betrayal. When I finally come to, I'm still shaking, handcuffed on my own porch while the SWAT team turns my house upside down. Valor, my brave boy, is finally calmed down by one officer who seems to realize, hey, that's a service dog vest. They haul me up, not gently, set me down on the steps, and I managed to croak out, "You've got the wrong house. I'm John McKinley, retired Master Sergeant. This is 121 Oak Street. Who are you looking for?" Their leader, Captain Miller, comes over, eyes darting between the warrant in his hand and my house. Then the one next door, 123 Oak, practically a twin to mine. Suddenly his face goes pale. He mutters, "Oh hell," then tells his team to stand down, to get off my property and stop tearing up my life. Turns out they've been briefed with bad intel and narcotics warrant for the house next door, and they never bothered to double check. Yeah, that happened. But the damage was done. My house looked like a hurricane hit it. I'm shaking and sore, Valor's traumatized, and I'm sitting there in shock, dignity shattered. Captain Miller comes up, stammering something about flawed intelligence. I laugh hollow and sharp. Flawed intelligence? You tossed an old soldier because you can't read a house number? And before he can try to apologize again, we all hear it, the deep rumble of big engines coming up the street. Now, this is the twist I never saw coming. The National Guard arrives, not with hesitation, but with authority, Humvees, troops, the whole 9 yards. The SWAT guys look like kids who just got sent to the principal's office. From one of the vehicles steps Major General Samuel Armitage, old battalion commander, a man I once pulled out of a burning APC back in the day. Turns out, As soon as the news broke thanks to a buddy, I texted in the chaos who got word out to the right people. A governor authorized the National Guard to intervene. Armitage was already in the air, diverted a chopper, and rolled up just in time to see the mess unfold. General Armitage steps right past the SWAT team, kneels down in front of me, puts a steady hand on my shoulder. "Mac, John, are you all right?" I manage a smile, sort of. "Bit of a rough morning, sir." They call it mistaken identity. The general stands, fixes the SWAT captain with a glare colder than winter. "Captain, you tossed a decorated master sergeant on his own porch because you failed to confirm an address?" The captain tries to talk protocol, officer safety, all that. The general just cuts him off. "Your team will withdraw now. Leave everything. State police and DOJ will handle this from here." And just like that, the SWAT team is out, red-faced, leaving their mess behind. National Guard medics check me out. The general makes sure Valor gets looked at too. He calls the governor's office, says my house will be fixed. Whatever support I need, it's done. Meanwhile, the actual suspect next door, the real target, is picked up quietly by another police unit. No drama, just the way it should have been. The aftermath was a blur. Apologies from the governor. My home put back in order by National Guard engineers. Valor given a clean bill of health. The SWAT captain and the officer who tossed me were put on leave. Lawsuit? Sure. The city settled fast, but most of the money went to veterans charities and service dog programs. I never wanted profit, just respect, some accountability, maybe a bit of justice for the next guy. 4 days after, neighbors I barely knew brought casseroles, mowed my lawn, even fixed the flag on my porch. Fear turned to respect, maybe even a bit of awe. The general checked in often. "You know, Mac," he said one afternoon as Valor snored at our feet, "sometimes the system fails the very people it swears to protect. It's up to us to make it right." I'm not sure all the scars will fade, but I sleep a little easier now, knowing that sometimes when everything goes wrong, there are still people out there who remember what it means to serve, who'll step up when it counts, and who believe no one left behind is more than just some old slogan. So what do you think? Was justice served here, or did the system just patch over another mess? Let me know, because the only way this changes is if folks speak up for right and wrong for those who can't. And if you believe in accountability, in respect for veterans and their service animals, let's hear your voice.